Let's imagine you have been elected and today is the last day of your term. What would you like the Grundy County Sheriff's Office to look like at that point in time?
The Grundy County Sheriff's Office, so that means the jail, the position, and your tenure. So from the perspective of the sheriff, I would hope that at the end of my tenure the people would look back, the voters would look back, the non-voters would look back, the rich and the poor, the sick and the well, and say that's the best sheriff we ever had. The second thing I would hope that the folks would say, if this tenure is more than one term, is that he provided us our next generations. He trained the local people, young people, to take over so that we always have homegrown representation that's trained well. You know, that's one of the great problems with having the mindset that we can only have law enforcement that came from the mountain. The type of education and experience and training that I have is not available on the mountain. It will be if I'm the sheriff. It will be for the current deputies and the future deputies. As far as the jail, I hope folks will look back and say it was some tough decisions. We made them. We worked together. We became educated. The commissioners knew what they were doing because the sheriff informed them, and the sheriff knew what he was doing because the public informed him. I will hold public hearings on any purchase over $5,000. I will publish the budget monthly or quarterly, whichever is best for the CPA firm. You'll always know where your sheriff's department stands. You'll be able to look back and see where you've been, and you'll be able to look forward from the strategic vision that I'll put in place within 60 days to know where you're going. I want you to be proud of your law enforcement. And if I can't do anything else in this campaign, I'm going to teach you about the jail problems before this election's over.
All right, that completes our questions that we have. So we're going to give you 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes, for your closing comments and statements, and you can reiterate something you've already mentioned, or it's your 5 minutes.
I probably won't take the entire 5 minutes. I'll say this. Almost 38 years in law enforcement in the military. I've been a reservist the entire time that I've been in law enforcement. That's why you see that I've done so many different things. It's because I've been on a parallel career track for my entire adult life. I've held every job in law enforcement, from jail deputy, 911 dispatcher, investigator, homicide investigator, sex crimes investigator. I was the director of post. These folks that are making such a big deal over residency, the reason they're able to make a big deal over my residency is because I knew how it could blow up in our faces, and I wanted to make sure that we were correct. Because if the residency piece wasn't right, there's a potential for cases to be thrown out. It's in your interest for my residency piece to have been tested in the legal system. I've worked in all sorts of size of agencies. My first supervisory job as a corporal, I supervised 13 people. As the Deputy Secretary of State for Financial Services, Law Enforcement Financial Services for the state of Georgia, I supervised 375. My military career has been about the same way. Now, I'm not telling you all that to brag. I've been in 36 prison riots. I've chased down over 313 fugitives. I've never had anybody hurt who worked for me. During my entire tenure as the Police Academy Director, we never lost one of my graduates in the line of duty. And you know what? If you elect me as the Sheriff of Grundy County, you will be giving me the hardest job I've ever had. Think about that. I've been to Iraq. I've been in convoys in Iraq, and you'll be giving me the hardest job you've ever given me, anybody's ever given me. And I've got the experience. I've got a PhD. I'm a certified executive, post-executive. And as hard as that will be for me, my opponent has none of that experience. He has none of that education. His training is strictly related to traffic. So you have to make a decision, or you should make a decision, based upon qualifications. The days of making decisions about elected office in Grundy County because of relationships should be behind us. Remember we started this? Chattanooga is knocking at our back door. You can say, as a citizen, that you're not going to let those folks come up here, but we all know money talks. And this is a pretty area. This is an area that's ripe for development for people that have got the right money. And you can hold out all you want and say, I'm not going to sell my part of the mountain, but your neighbor may not feel the same way. And the next thing you know, you've got somebody living next door to you with a really bad New York accent. Okay? New York City. Okay? That sort of situation. So you need a sheriff that's qualified, really qualified, not just as a law enforcement officer, but as a leader. I've been a law enforcement leader since I was 26 years old. I'm 57 now, if that matters to anybody. And I've led under some of the worst possible conditions. And we won. And we won over and over and over. I'm the only person in Georgia state history that ever was selected by the governor, House of Representatives, and Senate, and the Peace Officers Association of Georgia as the Law Enforcement Officer of the Year, twice. I'm good at what I do. There's other things I'm not so good at. I'm like that Affleck duck on the commercial when the guy asks for the wrench and he hands him a bathroom plunger. Okay? You don't want me working on your house. But I'm a good cop. And I'm a good cop leader. And with that said, thank you for being here today. Thank you for letting me bend your ear. And I'm asking for your support and vote in this election for a better Grundy County for your children and my grandchildren. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to, yeah, very good.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you.
We're going to continue with the second half of our forum with the mayoral forum debate in just a moment or so. So bear with us.